spoke to our next guest. He started a business in Bedfordshire selling filter water bottles. Now, 5 years later, WatertoGo has expanded and has just secured distributors in Australia and New Zealand. Dave Shanks, welcome back to the programme.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, of course. And for people who won't remember 5 years ago, I can't remember what I did yesterday. Tell us about the business.
Yeah, well, it's basically a water bottle with a filter which sits in the neck directly underneath the drinking spout. And the filter will take out anything that's harmful from the water. So you can use it on any tap anywhere in the world. And we've even had people use them on rivers. The last time I was on, you asked if you could use them on canal water, which some of your listeners actually did go out and do, and said that they'd live to tell the story. So we've, since we last spoke, we've really put a big push behind export, and we've just been appointed as export champions by the DIT, Department of Industry and Trade, and we're now exporting out of Pullock Hill to 55 countries across the world.
Extraordinary. And I'd say I was when we first spoke years ago, Dave, I wasn't quite, because it's hard to perhaps comprehend how well your product works. And you very kindly sent me a bottle, and I tried it, and it does. Someone stole it, by the way, but it does work. No, because look, the reality is, clean drinking water, we take it for granted here, but there are some parts of the world where people are dying for this.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm calling you today from Stamford Bridge. We're actually at an exhibition with lots of different travel companies from the UK who are sending people out to Latin America. So it's the Experience Latin America exhibition. And there are people here who are now buying the bottles to use on tap water in hotels and hostels, all the places where when you go on holiday, they say you can't drink the tap water. With one of our bottles, we can. So today we've been having conversations to start shipping to Brazil and Panama. So really interesting.
Have you been able to fund the expansion at a rate at which you like?
That's always the difficulty. Without naming who it was, the clearing banks, the main high street banks, are not really supportive to small businesses. But we've raised funds this year through a crowdfunding platform called Crowdcube, and that's actually where the new distributors came from as well. They read about us, the technology on the internet, and contacted us and said that they have an infrastructure in New Zealand and Australia, and they would like to work with us there. So that's where that came about.
We had, when we last had this conversation, that's the question I put to you then, because it's such a fantastic product. I mean, the global appeal could be limitless.
Yeah, no, okay. I mean, there's a potentially global appeal. We launched in China last year, where they've got terrible problems, because even when you buy bottled water, I mean, I forget the consequence on the impact of the environment, but the bottled water you buy abroad is often just that, water in a bottle, not how we would understand bottled water. So from that perspective, there is a global interest, and we're expanding. I mean, obviously, the key thing is that as you buy the WatertoGo bottles, each one of our filters will filter 200 litres. So if you put that in context of single-use plastic water bottles, 50 centilitre, we would replace 400 single-use water bottles. So since David Attenborough's been going on about the impact on the environment of single-use plastics, we've had an awful lot more interest, and people starting to understand what the bottles can do, not only in the technology, but also for the environment.
Amazing. Dave, wish you continued success. Look after yourself. Dave Shanks from WatertoGo, Bedfordshire-based company. And it's basically like a normal filter bottle, and it filters all the muck out of any kind of dirty water, and it makes it drinkable. So around the world, it's limitless, the potential. But they've had to go to crowdfunding because the big high street banks wouldn't help them, which is extraordinary because this product is amazing.
BBC Three Counties Radio.